So here's the situation. Increased levels of change fatigue are increasing resistance to manufacturing project implementation. Leaders and employees across manufacturing are experiencing high levels of change saturation from many projects being implemented at once. My name is Obi Airiodion, and I am a senior change management consultant. In this video, I will show you the best change management practices for increasing adoption for manufacturing project implementation to help you reduce resistance and increase adoption. The methodology I will be going over with you today is based on the same four-phase methodology that I use at a wide range of organizations like Apple, Microsoft, Intel, and others to help increase change management successes. There are four phases for you to keep in mind. Phase one, assess. Phase two, design. Phase three, implement. And phase four is sustain. Next, I will go over each of these phases, starting with phase one. For phase one, when implementing your manufacturing project, there are 6 change readiness assessments you should do to help you really understand how ready the organization is for the manufacturing project implementation. The findings from your 6 readiness assessments will tell you exactly where you and the team should focus your entire change management efforts for the manufacturing program implementation. The first assessment is to conduct a current state and culture assessment. You want to answer this question. Is the culture of each impacted group ready to accept, embrace, and adopt a transformational manufacturing project implementation? And you can use surveys or focus groups to gather the information. At the end of this call or this video, I will show you a free readiness survey for you to use. The second assessment for your manufacturing project change management is a detailed change impact assessment, which helps you and the team to understand what is changing, who is impacted, and the level of impact by function or role. And you can conduct this change impact assessment using the free template that I am currently sharing on my screen, which I will share with you at the end of this video. To gather your manufacturing project change impact assessment, you will want to meet with business analysts and the project team, as well as meet with functional leads and anyone mapping the process flows. Third, you will want to identify resistance that may derail the manufacturing project. Use the free resistance management template that I am currently sharing on my screen. After you populate this document, keep this document confident and show it to people on a needs-to-know basis. This is what you will use to mitigate resistance to your manufacturing project implementation. Fourth, you will also want to map your stakeholders and champions. Stakeholder mapping for manufacturing projects ensure that everyone impacted by the project rollout is identified and engaged appropriately. You will want to conduct enablement needs assessment for your manufacturing project implementation. Why? Different departments and groups have different preferences for how they want to receive change management, different preferences for how they want to receive communications, training, and engagement. And so you want to ensure that you interview stakeholders within the groups that will be impacted by your manufacturing project to ensure you are gathering their preferences. This is something very important for you to keep in mind. You also want to deliver a readiness survey to gather awareness, receptiveness, knowledge of the change, and more. At the end of this video, I will show you how to get a downloadable free standardized survey that I have used many times for manufacturing projects to help increase my change management successes. Before we dive into phase two, if you need someone to do all of this change management heavy lifting for you to ensure you are successful, feel free to reach out to me. See the link below. Phase two is the design and develop phase for your manufacturing project implementation. Here, you will design your change strategies and develop the key materials that will be used to communicate, enable, train, and support impacted users to help them adopt the manufacturing project. You will want to create your strategies for how change management will be delivered. There are 7 strategies for you to finalize, and I am currently sharing those strategies on my screen. And they cover all angles from communication and engagement to resistance management and training. There is a strategic playbook that I have used to successfully increase my success in doing change management for manufacturing clients. And I am going to give you that playbook to you today for free. But let me go ahead and show you what it looks like. When you get into the strategic playbook template, which is in PowerPoint, you will see this cover slide, which is the first slide. You click and then you get to this strategic playbook overview slide. And this slide provides a quick summary of the recommended strategies that you want to consider to help increase change adoption for any project that you might be implementing. As we go through this strategic playbook, I will highlight some key information that you need to know. The first one is when you access and you are using this template playbook, you want to ensure that you include impacted audience. Which groups or personas or job roles will be impacted by your project? You also want to include the level or the severity of impact and ensure that you socialize this slide with stakeholders and also leadership. Your communication strategies, you can leverage the ones that we currently have here on the template, but we recommend that you implement a hybrid communication approach that involves a top-down and a bottom-up approach. What exactly is this? With the top-down, and here is a visual representation, with the top-down, the change and program team are providing communications to leaders and managers and asking them to cascade those communications to end users. For the bottom up, it starts from the bottom. The change and the program team, including the champions, are sending up communications to everyone. That's a bottom up. And so your approach is to use both of them, which is why we call it a hybrid approach. It is very effective to increase change management successes. Within the playbook, you will notice we have also included the channels that you can use to communicate out your change project. This is a template, meaning you have to take this and make changes to it to ensure it matches your project and also your organization. Another strategy included here is the engagement strategy. And here you would notice we propose you do a two-way communication and engagement approach. What is the difference between communication and engagement? Well, engagement really is the interactive component of communicating a change. It involves doing briefings, conducting meetings, doing roadshows, giving people the opportunity to ask questions in real time. So you want to include what we are looking at here on this slide as part of your engagement strategies. And here we are actually providing visual views of the different channels you will want to consider using as part of your strategies for engaging impacted users. So there was a kickoff event, there are roadshows, town halls, focus meetings, and you also have interactive workshops, conduct focus groups, feedback sessions, engage your champions with regular meetings, conduct drop-in support calls, do virtual Q&A sessions, and also have stakeholder roundtables. Now, obviously, it might not be possible for you to do every single one of these, which is fine. The goal is we are presenting you with a portfolio of options. It is up to you to determine which one or two or three or four you have the bandwidth and the capability to implement. Another strategy included here is how to mitigate resistance. You want to apply a proactive and a reactive approach. A proactive approach is identifying where resistance will come from and then developing the plans to ensure it doesn't come up. Reactive is when you identify resistance and then you have to mitigate that. This strategic playbook also includes strategies for engaging with leaders and also sponsors. And you can see here, we have included respective activity types, cadence, how often, and also the purpose. And then there is also strategies for your change champion network, as well as strategies for your training deliverables. Here we've included different strategies to help increase your success. Now, once again, that was a quick overview of the strategic playbook, which is free. And the goal is you take this template and you customize it to match your purpose, your project, and your organization. After finalizing your strategies using the free change management strategic playbook that I just presented, the next step is to create your step-by-step change management plans that includes your engagement, communication, and training plans. Together, they ensure that the manufacturing project implementation is not just planned, but executed in a structured, measurable way. You will also want to create the communication assets you will develop to drive awareness and engagement during your manufacturing project rollout. You want to use invite for kickoff sessions, onboarding, and training reminders. And you will want to use emails for updates, countdowns, and go live announcements. And you also want to use newsletters to maintain momentum and share success stories. The key is consistency. Communicate early, often, and in multiple formats so messages land across all audiences. In addition, you will want to create the materials for onboarding, engaging, and equipping champions that will support your manufacturing program, project, or initiative implementation. Such materials for your manufacturing champions will include the onboarding kickoff deck and also the change champion toolkit. In addition, you should create leadership engagement materials to help leaders actively champion the manufacturing project rollout. You want to use a leader action roadmap. So take a look at my screen and look towards the bottom right. You see where it says leader action roadmap? This is one of multiple materials you want to put together to help engage and support your leaders. The leader action roadmap is very simple for you to create. You can literally take a screenshot of this slide and create what you are looking at. It is used to help leaders understand what is expected before, during, and after go live. Very important for you to keep in mind. You also want to develop persona-based or department-based learning materials, including videos, how-to guides, templates, FAQs, and job aids. This is very important for you to consider because one size doesn't fit all. So you have to understand that every impacted department within your organization might have a slightly different learning topics than the others, so you don't want to provide a one size fit all. Before we go on, if you are finding value in this video, please go ahead and give the video a like. That lets me know you have found this video useful. You can also subscribe to our channel to be kept updated on useful content. Okay, now we move on to phase 3, which is the implement and manage adoption phase for your manufacturing program, project, or initiative. For this phase 3, you will deliver your targeted communications through email, town halls, newsletters, videos, as well as creating an enablement website where you will centralize all of your key change management materials. Having an enablement website is very important because having a centralized place for people to go really helps to increase adoption. The goal of your communication plan is to make sure every audience gets the right information at the right time through the right channels to help build excitement, readiness, and sustained adoption of your manufacturing project. Use this template that I am sharing on my screen for your communication plan. It includes the communication audience, type of communication, frequency, priority, delivery channel. What you are looking at on my screen is sample data. When you download this free template, make sure you delete the sample data and then enter the right data that is relevant to your organization. You also want to launch, manage, and support your manufacturing champions network. You want to start with a kickoff session where you go over what it means to be a champion for this particular manufacturing project rollout. You also want to deliver white glove leadership onboarding and coaching. This personalized experience helps leaders to get a targeted, personalized understanding of what this change means for them, what's in it for them, how will the tool benefit them personally in their day-to-day job function. I recommend that you do one-on-ones or small group sessions for enabling your leaders. You also want to deliver hands-on training to equip everyone that will be impacted, to equip them with the knowledge, skills, and confidence to start implementing the changes that your manufacturing project, program, or initiative will be delivering. You will also need to manage resistance proactively and reactively. You want to use champions and leaders to mitigate resistance to the manufacturing project rollout. Take a look at my screen. Use this risk mitigation template, which is also free. So make sure you stay until the end because I will tell you how to download all of these templates for free for you to start using today. You also want to track key adoption metrics like user usage. How are people using the new solution? You also want to track training completion, as well as tracking FAQs, as well as any feedback sentiment that you are getting. Phase 4 is where we sustain and reinforce the new behaviors for the manufacturing implementation. Now, for this phase 4, one of the things that you will want to do is start by maintaining your change champion network and feedback loops. Ensure you are keeping your manufacturing champions engaged. You also want to continue office hours and support to provide ongoing help to your manufacturing target audience. You also want to measure adoption during the sustain phase to ensure that adoption doesn't fall off. You will also want to ensure that you are tracking and documenting lessons learned. And you want to ensure that you are recognizing people that are adopting the change the most. That can include having leaders send out communications recognizing people that are going far and beyond. Here is a summary of the four-phase approach that I use to deliver organizational change management manufacturing so that you can see everything in one place. And when I am done building this slide, you can take a screenshot. So the first phase was to ensure that we conducted 6 readiness assessments to identify how ready impacted groups were to adopt the changes. We then moved on to design, where we built the change strategies, the detailed plans, as well as materials for delivering change management for the manufacturing project implementation. For the third phase, we implemented our change management deliverables and plans. We also tracked adoption to support the manufacturing project rollout. And then finally, we sustained and reinforced the change by embedding new behaviors into day-to-day operations. Each phase is time-bound and scalable, meaning we can apply this model for a small pilot, or we can expand it enterprise-wide with the same structured cadence. Doing change management is not easy. And if you need someone to do all of these change management heavy lifting for you to ensure that you are successful, don't hesitate to reach out to me. See the link below. Also, you can find the link to the readiness assessment survey that I mentioned I was going to provide to you for free. The link is also below. You can also find the link to our free change management library that contains about 20 or so templates, including all of the free templates that I just shared with you as part of today's video. Download all of them for free. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Good luck with your change management implementation. And don't forget to like this video, as that lets me know that you have received value from it. You can also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss great content like this one.